Let's take a look at the kettlebell 2-arm swing. This is our basic 2-arm swing. We're going to do 20 reps for each of the kettlebell exercise. Now, the main points about the swing is that your stance, you basically want enough space so that the kettlebell can freely swing between your knees without hitting them. So you don't need to stand too wide or too narrow, so you have to go on the outside of the edges of your feet to make room for it. Okay, so that's the first thing. Then you just stay nicely with your feet in contact with the ground throughout the whole exercise. Now we've got a slide bend at the knees, pushing the hips back out. We maintain a tall, long spine, and you can see that my chest is pointing towards the ground and not towards the trees over there. Okay, so the main thing is that don't hesitate to come into this position here. Now, in the back end of the swing, the kettlebell is going to be in the prolongation of your arm and pulling towards you. So if the kettlebell should slip, it would land roughly a meter or so behind you. Okay? From this position here, the main key point to remember is we try to straighten up fully without pushing the hips forward. Okay? So we straighten up, we've got one straight line from the ankle right through the hips to the shoulders. Try to maintain the shoulders back and down. So we're not letting the shoulders round forward with the weight pulling us ahead. Okay, so one straight line, tension right through the midsection, through the glutes if you need to remember it in the first stage of the exercise. Eventually everything becomes reflexive and you won't need to think so much about the cues. Okay, so all these points apply every time you're doing a swing exercise or based on the swing with a kettlebell. When you grab the kettlebell, you don't need to squeeze the handle tight. You're just going to place the handle right down the base of your finger and support it just so. So no need to create extra tension as you're holding on to the kettlebell. The momentum should be holding it in line with your forearms. So at the top of the swing, the kettlebell is going to be in line with your forearm. In the back portion of the swing, it's also going to be in line. Yeah. So one more, so you can pay attention to those key points. And you can also notice that my gaze is shifting right through the swing. Top of the swing, I'm looking ahead. In the back portion of the swing, I'm looking at the ground roughly 1.5 meters in front of me. Okay? And then final word is about the breathing. Try to find a matching breathing with each of the repetition you're doing for the exercise. There are two main methods for the breathing. You can decide to exhale on the phase where the kettlebell is up. Yeah, so exhale on the way up and try breathe in on the way down. Or you can do the opposite, which is used in kettlebell sport and is more related to endurance swinging. So here you would be breathing on the way up and breathing out on the way down. Okay? It requires that you are aware of how to brace and protect your spine when you're doing this type of breathing. So in the end, it's up to you how you're going to choose to breathe. As long as you breathe, it's all good.